Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So I just had my eye on this guppy fry here. This is one of my planted 40-gallon community tanks. And I'm about to do a water change, so I have the lids off. So just looking down at the top. And I never get tired of watching baby guppies or like baby fish. It's one of my favorite things about the fish cooking hobby. As common as it is for live bears to have babies, it never gets old. I still enjoy it. Looking at this tank, all this Anacharis out of control. I mean, it is pretty cool looking. I do like it like this, but not really for this being one of my display tanks. There we go. Water sprayed here. It's kind of cool, like this growing above the water, above the surface. And some water wisteria. But yeah, so I'm about to do a water change on this tank, so I thought I'd just show the before. And what I intend to do is pull out some of this Anacharis. Last time I showed this tank was about 3 weeks ago, and I mentioned how the Anacharis had exploded. I did pull some out then, but yeah, here we go again. It's just dominating the tank. So, I'm going to pull some out. I don't really have anywhere to put it though. I have a couple of my tanks. My last video I showed my 10-gallon peppered corridor and wild guppy tank. I think I'm going to put some in there and just kind of line up the back of the tank with some stems. I mean, that tank is, after I pulled out a bunch of Java moss, it was full, but yeah, so that's one place I can put it in. I don't know, figure something else out to do. Maybe spread a little bit to various tanks, but it is kind of nice and jungly like this. But for this tank, maybe not so much. It was, as I was putting this tank together, gradually adding, everything I said since I set up this tank initially, just adding things little by little, adding hardscape, plants, fish, all gradually. And Anacharis just happened to be one of the last plants I added to the tank, so that kind of has to do with how it is willy-nilly. And because where I just tried to plant it was really just whatever open spots I had, as opposed to maybe putting it in areas like what I'm going to do with my 10-gallon tank. I'll line up the back, but here now it's just too much in the front covering all this area. I mean, I did want some just right here on the side, did not really want any here, and just put some stems here and kind of grew like a tornado, and instead of just some stems growing up and long, and maybe one common thing with stem plants, if you clip it, it can kind of grow like from where it's snipped, can grow like two pieces, but from here just kept growing from the bottom. So yeah, that's pretty much like every spot I've done that where I planted it. Just like whatever might have gotten damaged planting it in, and then growing new pieces from that, I guess. Cubensis looking awesome, that female Cubensis. Yeah, so I'm just overall, it's blocking a lot of the light. I mean, there's still enough, a decent amount of swimming space over here, but I do want to be able to see into this tank a little better, to see the fish more. Yeah, so I'm going to do a water change. I'll clean out the intake sponge on this hanging back filter. You can see it's kind of like clogged up because it's just barely trickling. So that'll improve that flow and take out some of this Anacharis and maybe arrange some plants. Gonna add some root tabs. Some of the root plants. This is actually, I have, yeah, kind of going through it. I've had this for a while. Got it from my aquarium box, which I don't think exists anymore. But yeah, so I'll provide an update after post-water change at some point where we can focus more on the fish. And maybe the shrimp too. There's some Neocaridina shrimp in here. There's one right there. Not a lot, but they've been hanging out in this Anacharis. Yeah. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to get my hands wet, get in there, take out some Anacharis, and stay tuned for a follow-up video where I'll point out, show the fish more. Alright, well that's it for now, and remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.